What's up, everybody? It's your boy Richie Kevin, and in today's video, we're gonna be reading Terms and Service of Fortnite. So, as you guys already know, whenever we play any games, I guess like 99% of people do not read Terms and Service, and which later on can consider us a big problem for like a stupid shit like me who bought a stupid ass skin in Fortnite completely by randomly clicking at it by thinking it was for preview, and I purchased the skin. I sent an email to them, but they didn't respond. They don't give a fuck, cause yeah, they just want your money. So today we're gonna be reading terms and service of Fortnite. So yeah, let's start it. Terms of service. Acceptance of the terms of service. My sound might be different because I'm a bit cold today. Okay, the following terms and conditions are to your user of the website of Epic Games Incorporated and its affiliates, Epic, we, us, or our, including any content, functionality, products, and service offered on or through such websites collectively, the website, whether as a guest or a registered user. The terms also applies to your use of other Epic services that displays or include these terms. Additional service in these terms, the website and additional service are collectively referred to as the services. Please read these terms carefully before you start to use the service. By using the services, you accept and agree to be bound and obeyed by these terms of service. If you do not want to agree to these terms of service, you must not use the service in particular. We want to highlight some important terms, policies, and procedure in these terms. By accepting these terms, you are also agreed to other Epic rules and policies that are expressly incorporated into a part of these terms. Please read them carefully. Our privacy policy explains what information we collect from you and how we protect. Our fan content policy explains what you can do with Epic's intellectual property in the content you create. Our terms of service explains the rules of our website. You and Epic agree to resolve dispute between us in individual attribute, not in court. We believe the alternative dispute resolution process of attribution will resolve any dispute fairly and more quickly and efficiently than formal court litigation. Explain the process in detail below, but we'll put this up front because it's important. These terms contains a binding individual attribution and class action waiver provision. If you accept these terms and you and Epic agree to resolve the dispute in binding individual attribution and give up the right to go to court individually or as part of a class action, and Epic agree to pay your attribution costs for all dispute of up $10,000 that are made in good faith. See below. Oh my god. Jarvis should be lucky that he didn't have to pay this. To enter into the contract created by these terms, you must be an adult of the legal age of majority in your country of resident. You are legally and financially responsible for all the action using or accessing our software, including the action of anyone you allow to access to your account. You have framed that you have reached the legal age of majority, understanding and accept these terms, including its dispute resolution terms. If you are under the legal age of majority, your parents or legal guardian must consist to these terms. In addition to these terms, software or services that are included in or otherwise made available to you through the service may be subject to separate agreement between you and Epic, such as end user license agreement. If these terms are inconsistent with any such agreement, those agreement will control. Privacy notice. Oh my god, I'm having a really bad throat, but I'm still doing this challenge. I'm gonna have a bad throat after this challenge. Privacy notice. Please review our privacy notice found at epicgames.com/privacy policy, which also governs your use of service. To understand our practice change to the terms of service, we may update these terms from time to time. You should check this page regularly to take notice of any changes. Your continued use of the service following the position of revised term means that you accept and agree the changes accessing the service and account security. We may withdraw or amend the service and any related service or content or restriction access, including by means of cancellation, termination, or modification or suspension of any user account to all or certain user, including you, without notice and without liability to you in our reasonable discretion. Additional due to our your geographic location, the service or some of these features, service or content may be unavailable to you. Notwithstanding anything to the contrary herein, we may terminate or suspend accessing to the service based on your branch of these terms. To access certain service, you will be asked to provide registration detail or other information and other to use such responsible, and all information to provide must be correct, current and complete from time to time. In order to access the service or certain game service or functionality, Epic may require some or all user to download, update, or additional software. The terms of such the terms of use of such software may be subject to separate agreement between you and Epic. If you choose or are provided with a username, password, or any other piece of information as part of a security procedure, you must treat such information as confidential other than username, and you must not disclose it to other. You must immediately notify Epic via privacy at unrealengine.com of any unauthorized use of your username or password or any other breach or security. You should use particular caution when accessing your account from a public or shared computer, so that others are not able to view or record your password or other personal information. You may only access the service through your own account. Users do not own their account, and gifting or otherwise transferring of account or access key is prohibited. We reserve the right to change a display name if we deem it offensive, misleading, potentially infringing the right of third parties, or if you have been inactive for more than a year. Intellectual property rights. The service, including all content, features, and functionality, therefore are owned by Epic, its licensor, or other provider of such material, are protected by United States and internal copyright, trademark, patent, and other intellectual property or proprietary right law. You are permitted to use the service for your personal, non-commercial use only, or legitimate business purpose related to your role as a current or prospective customer of Epic, except as provided below. You must not copy, modify, create, derivative works of public display, publicly perform, republish, or transmit any of the material obtained through the services, or delete or alter any copyright, trademark, or other proprietary rights notice from copies of material from the services. However, if you are otherwise in compliance with these terms, you are permitted to use elsewhere and on other website an altered copy of portion of the content that is publicly available on the website for the limited non-commercial purpose of discussing such content. You must not reproduce, sell, or exploit for any commercial purpose any part of the service. Access to the service or use of the service or any service or material available through the service. Epic fan content policy governs non-commercial use of such content. For clarity, the foregoing permissions are limited to the service, and no rights are granted with respect to any servers, computer, or database associated with the service. Billing, payment, and Epic account balance. As used in the section, if your primary residence is in the United States of America, then the term Epic means Epic Games Incorporated. Otherwise, the term Epic means Epic Games Internationally SARL action through its Swiss branch. All in charge incurred in connection with the service and all funds placed in the Epic account balance are payable in advance and are not refundable in whole or in any part, regardless of the payment method, expect as expressly set forth in these terms or as required by applicable law. To the service, Epic may make available prepaid balance service. Your Epic account balance may only be used in obtaining certain products and services offered by Epic, excluding the Epic Store found at http://www.epicgamesstore.com. To access the Epic account balance, you may be asked to provide registration detail, including without limitation a payment method and related billing address. Epic may offer you the ability to use the following payment method to place prepared funds into your Epic account balance: credit card payment, prepaid payment card, promotional code, or any other payment method as specified by Epic. Any promotional code provided to you by Epic for use as a payment method may be subject to additional terms and conditions. associated with the promotion, offer, or coupon. When you provide a payment method to Epic for use in connection with the Epic account balance, you represent to Epic that you are the authorized user of the payment method, and you authorize Epic to charge your payment method for any Epic account balance, funds, or other fee incurred by you. If the user of the Epic account balance is subjected to any sales or other taxes, the Epic may also charge you for those taxes. You are responsible for all use of your Epic account balance, including all applicable taxes and all purchases made by you or anyone else using your Epic account balance. Within the 24-hour period, the total amount stored in your Epic account balance plus the total amount spent on your Epic account balance in the aggregate may not exceed US 2000 or its equivalent in your local currency. Epic reserves the right to change, modify, or otherwise impose usage limit to your Epic account balance at any time in its sole discretion. Epic account balance funds do not consist of personal property right and have no value outside the services. If you are refunded for any item purchased using Epic account balance funds, Epic will return the fund to your Epic account balance. Epic account balance funds are non-transferable to another person and do not accrue interest. Epic reserves the right to suspend or terminate your Epic account balance if after investigation in Epic determines in its sole discretion that you misuse the Epic account balance, conduct unauthorized Epic account balance transaction from other users' Epic account balance, or use the Epic account balance to conduct any fraudulent or other illegal activity. In the event that your Epic account balance is terminated or suspended in accordance with these terms for a reason other than fraudulent or other illegal activity, Epic will return your remaining Epic account balance less any charge, fees, or any other amount owned to Epic. Otherwise, Epic account balances are not refundable and are not redeemable for money or monetary value from Epic or any other person or entity. Epic account balances that are my throat is hurting. Deemed unclaimed property may be surrendered to the applicable authority as required by application law. Bro, the terms and service are so long. Who reads this, bro? Uh, dude. I need to drink some water before I continue. Oh, fuck. It's gonna take an hour. Prohibited usage. You may use the service only for lawful purpose and in accordance with terms of service. You agreed not to access or use the service for any purpose that is illegal or beyond the scope of service intended use. User contribution. The service contains various forms, networks, and other interactive features that allow you to post, submit, publish, display, or transmit to Epic and other user content or materials on or through the service. All user contribution must comply with the following content standard. User contribution must not be illegal, fraudulent, despicable, obscene, threatening, defamatory, invasion of privacy, infringing of intellectual property rights, or otherwise injurious to third parties or objectionable, and must not consist of or contain software, virus, commercials, socialization chain, letter, mass mailing, or any form of spam. Any user contribution that you post will be considered non-confidential and non-proprietary, and you grant Epic a non-exclusive royalty fee, perpetual, irrevocable. What the fuck is this?
Irrevocable.
Irrevocable and fully sublicensable right to use, copy, reproduce, modify, adapt, publish, translate, create deri- derivative work from, distribute, and display such user contribution through the world in any media. However, Epic will only share personal information that you provided in accordance with Epic's privacy policy. Ah, shit, this is so long. Who reads terms and services, bro? I'm reading right now, but still. You represent and warrant that you own or otherwise control all of the rights to the user contribution that you post at the time of posting that the user contribution are accurate and not fraudulent or deprivative, and the user contribution do not violate these terms or right of any third party and will not cause injury to any person or entity. Or understand that your user contribution may be copied by other services user and discussed on and outside of the services, and if you do not have the right to submit user contributions for such use, it may subject you to liability. Epic takes no responsibility and assumes no liability for any content posted by you or any third party. Epic has the right but not the obligation to monitor and edit or remove any user contribution. Epic also has the right to terminate your access to all or parts of the service or for any or no reason, including without limitation. Any violation of these terms, Epic may exercise this right at any time without notice or liability to you or any third party. Linking: you may link to publicly available portions of the service if you do so in a way that is fair and does not damage or take damage of our reputation, but you must not establish a link in such a way as to suggest any form of association, approval, or endorsement on our part. The services must not be framed on any other website or service. We reserve the right to withdraw linking permission without notice. If the service contains link to other sites and resources provided by the third party, these links are provided for your convenience only. You have no control over the content of those sites or resources and accept no responsibility for them or for any loss or damage they may arise from you or use of them. Disclaimers and limitation of liability. Nothing in these terms will prejudice the stationary rights that you may have as a consumer of the service. Some countries, states, provinces, or other jurisdictions do not allow the exclusion of certain warranties or the limitation of liability as stated in this section. So the below term may not fully apply to you. Instead, in such jurisdiction, the exclusion and limitation below shall apply only to the extent permitted by the law of such jurisdictions. The service and all information, content, material, products, and other service included on or otherwise made available to you through the service are provided by Epic on an as is and as available basis. Epic makes no representation or warranty of any kind, expression, or implied as to the operation of the services or the use of the service is at your sole risk to the full extent permissible by law. Epic disclaims all warranties, expression, or implied, including but not limited to implied warranties of merchantability and fitness for a particular purpose. Epic does not warrant that the service, information, content, material, product, or other service included on or otherwise made available to you through the service, Epic server, or electronic communications sent from Epic are free of virus or other harmful component. My throat hurts. My throat literally hurts. To the full extent permissible by law, Epic will not be liable for any loss or profit or any indirect, incidental, punitive, special, or consequential damage arising out of or in connection with these terms. Further, to the full extent permissible by law, Epic's aggregation liability arising out of or in connection with these terms will not exceed the total amount you have paid to Epic under this agreement during the 12 months immediately preceding the event giving rise to such liability. These limitations and exclusive regarding damage apply even if any remedy fails to provide adequate compensation. Indemnification: this section only applies to the extent permitted by applicable law. If you are prohibited by law from entering into the indemnification obligation below, then you assume to the extent permitted by law all liabilities for all claims, demands, action, losses, liabilities, and expenses, including attorney fee, cost, and expert witness fee, that are the state subject matters of the indemnification obligation below. You agree to defend, indemnify, and hold harmless Epic, its affiliation, and licensors and their representative officer, director, employee, contractor, agent, licensor, and supply from and against any claim, liability, damage, judgment, awards, losses, costs, expenses, or fees, including reasonable authority fee resulting from your user contribution or violation of these terms. Governing law and jurisdiction. Oh my god, it's so hard to copy this. Boom, 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 paste it, and boom.
Jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction. Jurisdiction, governing law and jurisdiction. Any dispute or claim by you arising out of or related to those terms shall be governed by the North Carolina law exclusive of its choice of law rules. I don't know if any of my viewers are like continuing this video from me. Guys, if you are continuing this video, watching my video right now as well, then comment down below the word jurisdiction. Did I pronounce it right? Wait.
Jurisdiction.
Yeah, comment this word if you are following with me. Okay. Binding individual attribution, no class action. Oh, where was I? Or any dispute demand not subject to binding individual attribution as provided in the section immediately below. You and Epic agree to submit to the exclusive jurisdiction of the Superior Court or Wake Country, North Carolina, or its federal court jurisdiction exists. The United States District Court for the Eastern District of North Carolina. You and Epic agree to waive any jurisdictional venue or inconvenient from object to such court, as well as any right to a jury trial. The Convention on Contract for the International Sale of Goods will not apply. Any law or regulation which provides that the language of a contract shall be constructed against the drafter will not apply to these terms. This paragraph will be interpreted as broadly as applicable law permits. Binding individual attribution, no class action. Please read this section carefully. It affects your right, including your right to file a lawsuit in court. Most issue can be resolved quickly and amicably by contacting Epic customer support at the link. But we understand that sometimes disputes, most issue can be resolved quickly and amicably by contacting. Oh, I read the same line, but we understand that sometimes disputes can be easily resolved by customer support. This section explains how you and Epic agree to resolve these disputes, including by binding individual attribution. Attribution is an alternative dispute resolution procedure that allows us to resolve issue without the formality of going to court. Any dispute between you and Epic is submitted to a neutral attributor, not a judge or jury. For fair and fast resolution, attribution is more efficient for both you and Epic. Disputes related to Epic and Epic's end user license agreement (EULA). If you have agreed to Epic's end user license agreement (EULA), disputes as the term is defined in the EULA will be resolved as provided for in the EULA, including EULA's binding individual attribution section. The dispute resolution term below apply to disputes arising society under these terms and not to product or service governed by a EULA dispute related to these terms. If you have any issue related to these terms and have not agreed to Epic's EULA, the dispute resolution terms below apply. Informal resolution: if you have any issue to that our customer support can resolve prior to starting attribution, you and Epic agree to attempt to resolve these disputes informally to help get us to a resolution and control costs for both parties. You and Epic agree to make a good faith effort to negotiation any dispute between us for at least 30 days. Those informal negotiation will start on the day you or Epic receives a written notice of a dispute in accordance with these terms. You will send your notice of dispute to Epic Games Incorporated Legal Department, ATTN, Notice of Dispute, Box 2574 Walnut Street, Cary, North Carolina 27518 USA, including your name and any relevant account name you use, address, how to contact you, what the problem is, and what you want Epic to do. If Epic has a dispute with you, Epic will send our notice of dispute to your registered email address and any billing address you have provided us. If you reside in European Union (EU), you may also be entitled to submit a complaint to the European Commission online dispute resolution (ODR) platform. ODR allows EU consumers to resolve dispute related to the online purchase of goods and service without going to court. If the dispute isn't resolved within by informal resolution or small claim courts, you or Epic may start an attribution in accordance with these terms. Small claims court. Oh my god, what the hell, bro? This terms and service is long as hell. Small claim court. Instead of using informal resolution, you and Epic agree that you may sue us in small claims court in your choice of the country where you live or wake country, North Carolina, if you meet the requirement of a small claim court. We hope you'll try informal resolution first, but you don't have to before going to a small claims court binding individual attribution. The attribution proceedings in this section will be conducting on an individual basis only. You and Epic agree that disputes will be settled by binding individual attribution conducted by the Judicial Attribution Mediation Service Incorporated (JMS), subjected to the U.S. Federal Attribution Act and Federal Attribution Law, and according to the JAMS streamlined attribution rules and procedure effectively July 1, 2014. The JAMS rules as modified by these terms. This means that you and Epic agree to a dispute resolution process where we submit any dispute to a neutral attributor, not a judge or jury that makes the final decision to resolve the dispute. JAMS uses experienced professional to attribute disputes, which helps you and Epic resolve any dispute fairly but more quickly and effectively than going to a court. The attributor may award the same remedies to you individually as a court could, but only to the extent required to satisfy your individual claim. The attributor's decision is final except for a limited review by courts under the U.S. Federal Attribution Act and can be enforced like any other court order or judgment. Dispute we agree to adbeberate. You and Epic agree to submit all dispute between you and Epic to individual binding attribution. Dispute means any dispute, claim, or controversy except those specially extended below between you and Epic that relates to your use or attempt use of Epic product or service and Epic products and service generally, including without limitation the validation, informability, or scope of the binding individual attribution section. My throat hurts, bro. You and Epic agree to attribution all dispute regardless of whether the dispute is based in contract status, regulation, ordinary tort, including fraud, mispresentation, fraudulent inducement, or negligence, or any other legal or equitable theory. The informal resolution and attribution section do not apply one individual action in small claim courts to pursuit of enforcement action through a government agency if the law allows. 3. A complaint of remedy under the EU General Data Protection Regulation. 4. An action to compel or uphold any prior attribution decision. 5. Epic's right to seek injunctive infringement. And 7. The enforceable of the class action waiver class below. You and Epic agree that whether a dispute is subject to attribution under these terms will be determined by the attributor or rather than a court. Attribution procedure. To start an attribution, review the JAMS rules and follows the instruction for initiating an attribution on the JAMS website. The party starting an attribution must send JAMS a demand for attribution available on its website, pay a filing fee, and mail a copy on the copy of the demand for attribution to the opposing party. You will send a copy to Epic Games Incorporated, Legal Department, ATTN, Attribution of Dispute, Box 257 Walnut Street, Cary, North Carolina 27518 USA. Epic will send our copy to your registered email address and any billing address you have provided us. How long is this? The attribution will be conducted by a single JAMS attributor is selected with substantial experience in resolving intellectual property and the commercial contract dispute. You and Epic both agree that the attribution will be conducted in the English language and that the attribution will be bound by these terms. If an in-person hearing is required, the hearing will be taken place either in Wake Country, North Carolina, or where you reside, you choose. The attributor will resolve the dispute unless you and Epic agree. Otherwise, any decision or award will include a written statement stating the decision of each claims and the basis for the award, including the attributor's essential factual and length finding the conclusion. The attributor may only award legal or equitable remedies that are requested by you or Epic to satisfy one of our individual claims that the attributor determines are supported by creditable relevant evidence. The attributory may not award relief against Epic respecting any person other than you. Any decision or award may be enforced as a final judgment by any court or competent jurisdiction, or if applicable, application may be made to such court for judicial acceptance of any award and an order of enforcement. Attribution fees and location. If you start the attribution, you must pay the jams filling fee required for consumer attribution. Oh my god, I need water. My throat literally is gonna kill me. Oh. Okay. Attribution fees and location. If you start the attribution, you must pay the jams filling fee required for consumer attribution. In some situation, Epic will help with your fees to hopefully get us to a resolution quickly and fairly. If the dispute involves $10,000 or less, Epic will pay all the jams consist, including the fees you otherwise would have been required to pay. uh, if the above doesn't apply to you, your but you demonstrated the attribution cost will be prohibited compared to. Oh my god, this shit consists a lot of words which you do not want to hear.
Litigation.
Litigation cost. Epic will pay as much for your jams cost as the attributor finds is necessary to prevent attribution from being cost prohibitive as compared to the cost of litigation. Even if Epic wins the attribution and the application law or the jams rules allow Epic to seek our portion of the jams fee from you, we won't. The fee assistance offered above is contingent upon you bringing the attribution claim is good faith. If the attribution finds you bought an attribution claims against Epic for an improper purpose, ferociously or without a sufficient pre-claim investigation into the factor applicable law, then the payment of all fees will be governed by the JAMS rules. JAMS costs do not include your attorney fees and attorney fees and JAMS costs are not content when determining how much a dispute involves. Epic won't seek our attorney's fee or expenses from you in any attribution, even if the law or the JAMS rules entitled us to do so. If you choose to be represented by any attorney, you will pay your own attorney fee and costs unless the applicable law provides otherwise. Notice and filing. If a dispute must be my god, this word is fudging hard, bro.
Arbitrate.
Arbitrate. Arbitrate. You or Epic must start arbitration after dispute within 2 years from when the dispute first arose. If applicable law requires you to bring a claim for a dispute sooner than 2 years after the dispute first arose, you must start arbitration in the early time period. Epic encourages you to tell us about the dispute as soon as possible so we can work to resolve it. The failure to provide timely notice shall bar all claims. Continuation in effect. This binding individual attribution section surveys any termination of these terms or Epic provision of service to you. Future terms change. Although Epic may revise these terms in its discretion, Epic does not have the right to alter these terms to attribute or the rules specified here within respect to any dispute once that dispute arises. Class action waiver. To the maximum extent permitted by applicable law, you and Epic agreed to only bring displayed in an individual capacity and shall not seek to bring, join, or participate in any class or representative action, collective or class-wide attribution, or any other action where the another individual or entitled acts in a representative capacity. Example: private attorney general action, or consolidate or combine individual proceedings, or permit an attributory to do so without the expresses consist of all parties to these terms, and all other actions or attributaries or severability. If all or any provision of this binding individual attribution agreement is found invalid, unenforceable, or illegal, then you and Epic agree that the provision will be severed and the rest of these terms shall remain in effect and be construed as if any severe provision had not been included. The sole expect expansion is that if the class action waiver is bound, invalid, unenforceable, or illegal, you and Epic agree that it will not be severable. This entire binding and individual attribution section will be void and unenforceable, and any dispute will be resolved in court subject to the venue and choice of classes specified in this term. Under no circumstances shall attribution be conducted on a class basis without Epic's express conscious language to the fullest extent permitted by law. The controlling language of these terms is English. If this express wish of the parties that these terms and all related documents have been drawn up in English, les parties declaration quelles ante demande ad parles conferente a convention soter any translation has been provided for your convenient. Copy this. I don't know. Paste this.
Parties déclarent qu'elles ont demandé et par les présentes confirment leur désir et exprès que cette convention soit rédigée.
Escuche.
Parties declare that they have requested and hereby confirm their express wish that this agreement be drawn up.
Woo! I just translated it for you guys. Waiver and severability. No waiver of these terms by Epic shall be demanded of further or continuing waiver of such term or condition or any other terms or condition, and any failure of Epic to assert or right or provide under these terms shall not consist a waiver of such right of provision. If any provision of these terms is held by a court competent jurisdiction to be invalid, illegal, or unenforceable for any reason, such provisions shall be eliminated or limited to the minimum extent such that the remaining provision of this term will continue in full force and effect. Notice and procedure for making claims on copyright infringement. In accordance with the Digital Millennium Copyright Act and other applicable law, Epic has adopted a policy of terminating in appropriate circumstances as determined by Epic user or account holder who are deemed to be as repeat infringers or the copyright of other. Epic may also at its sole discretion limit access to the service and or update, transfer, suspend, or terminate the account of any user who infringing the intellectual property rights of other, whether or not there is repeated infringement. If you believe that your work has been used in on the website or on any other service in a way that constitute copyright infringement, please submit a notice or eligible information DMCA notice to a designated copyright agent as follow. Legal Department, Epic Games Incorporated, 620 Cross Road, BLVD, Cary, New York City 27518. Telephone 919-854-0070. Email dmca@epicgames.com. Please include all of the following in your DMCA notice. Identify the copyrighted work that you claim has been infringed. If your DMCA notice covers multiple work, you may provide a representative list of such work. Identify the material that you claim is infringing, including a description of where the material is located. The description must be responsible sufficient to enable us to locate the material. Where possible, please include the URL of the web page where the market is located. Provide your full legal name, mailing address, telephone number, and if available, email address. Include the following statement in the body of the DMCA notice. I have a good faith belief that the user of the material is not authorized by the copyright owner in agent or law. I represent that the information in this DMCA notice is accurate and under penalty or perjury that I am the owner of the copyright or authorized to act on the copyright owner behalf. provide electronic or physical signature. Please note that under 17 USC 512 bracket F bracket close, if you knowingly mispresent the material or actively is infringing, you may be liable for damage, including cost and attorney fees incurred by us or our user. If you are unsure whether the material or activity you are reporting is infringing, you may wish to contact an attorney before filing a notification with us. General question: for general question, contact us at unrealengine.com/contact. And yeah, these are it. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been your boy Richard Kevin. Like, subscribe, comment, and share this. Peace out.